This presentation is called How to Fail Writing 1. And while we don't like to dwell on the negative, it's good to know the landscape that we're getting into, and it's good to have a few warnings. So here are a few warnings. I did try to include fun slides to at least give this sort of a softer edge and not be mean. Oh, procrastination. This one hits us hard. At least it does for me. You know, like the person in this picture, we all have a lot to juggle. In this case, she's juggling chocolate donuts. Not really a big deal if she drops them, just a fun game. But many of us are juggling many different important things in life, and it's hard to prioritize. And as a result, some of us do procrastinate, and we don't get our work done, and as a result, we suffer in our class. So make sure that you're staying on task and scheduling and doing the best you can to stay on track. We're going to learn about plagiarism and proper use of research as part of this class later on in the semester. But for right now, what you need to remember is one good way to fail this class is to submit work that is not your own. And by that I mean intentional cheating. There are different ways that students do this, and yes, they often do get caught. So make sure that you do not intentionally plagiarize. Here's a picture of one of my cats to remind us of laziness. And again, many of us are actually very busy, and that's why we skip work. But again, great way to fail this class, skip work. Remember that you need to turn in all the major writing assignments, writing projects, to successfully pass this course. Another negative behavior we want to avoid, unless we want to fail this class, is to make excuses. And here's a picture of my dog. He is a wonderful dog, but he whines a lot. And sometimes we all whine and make excuses instead of getting our work done. So just a little reminder. Now, if there are significant events, and we all have bad things that are going to happen to us sometimes, that's just part of life. And I understand if you need to approach me about how we can work something out and maybe invoke a little flexibility because of some rough circumstances, I am always happy to talk about that. And most students will tell you that I am very understanding. However, we need to not just make excuses and skip work like the last slide. We need to ultimately get things done. This picture is from a leadership group I used to lead here on campus. And we had an etiquette dinner, and there are a lot of details and directions to an etiquette dinner. And that relates to this course in some ways because we do have details and directions for the assignments and other elements of this course. And it's important for us to learn how to pay attention to detail and to learn how to follow directions. That's a good life skill to have, a good skill for us to carry into whatever careers we're going to get into. And these students really had fun eating at the etiquette dinner and learning about some of those skills that would help them down the road in some of their future endeavors if they needed to go to a formal dinner as part of a business presentation or something. So as we're working through this course, don't just forget about the details and directions. Don't just quickly glance over things and assume that you know how to do it. Make sure you look at those details and directions because sometimes those will really affect your grade. The last way to fail in this course is to attempt good enough rather than success. And when I've talked about failing in this course, probably most of you assumed that I just meant a difference between a passing grade and a failing grade. And that is primarily what I'm talking about. But also success in this course relates to being able to carry it and succeed at the next level and use these skills as you move on. I have a picture from some of our nursing students a number of years ago to kind of illustrate this because I joke with my nursing students in my class that I really don't want a nursing student who said, well, this is good enough, or was just struggling for C. You know, sometimes students use the phrase D's get degrees or C's to get degrees. And that, of course, bothers me. I'm a faculty member. Of course, it would bother me. But I tell my nursing students, you know, when I go into a hospital or when I take my child to the doctor's visit or the hospital, you know, I don't want to find myself staring into the face of a nurse who was happy to get a C and who is just happy to do good enough. I want somebody who wanted to be the best and who is going to give me the best care. And frequently I run into nurses in the community, and I am always very happy when those are some of my former students who did put the effort in, because I know I'm going to be taken care of, or my child is going to be taken care of. So as you work through this course, whatever you're going to get into, nursing or business, physical exercise, fitness stuff, and I could list a whole bunch more of careers here, but you get the idea. Whatever you want to be the best. And for you, maybe the best you're going to get in this class is a C. Maybe you're going to work your butt off and get a C, and wow, I learned a lot from that class. I worked really, I'm ready to get on the next level. That is nothing to be ashamed of. If you can get an A, I hope you will. I want to mark as many A's as I can. This is not a grading curve type of class. But I want you to, wherever your skill level is, and wherever you end up with your final grade, I want you to achieve success in this class, not just good enough. And the reason that I put this slide in relating to failing is because I've had students who pretty much put in the effort to get good enough, and then things got a little rocky in the class or something tough happened to them, and it caused them to slide down just enough that they did not pass the class, and they also did not get what they needed to succeed at the next level. So thanks for watching this presentation. I hope you learned some things with it. I hope it was at least a little bit fun for you, and I'm always happy to help. Thanks.